So my name is Jermaine McGlasson and I'm the manager of AFC Croydon Athletic. So I started out through non-league, working my way up. As a youngster, sort of grew up a stone throw away from here. My mum lives on Mayfield Road, so playing at the park, at Mayfield Park, and sort of found my love of football through just obviously as a hobby. And then I sort of continued that and eventually started playing Sunday League, and then went into the non-league system at the likes of Mersham, Tooting and Mitcham, and a few other clubs. And unfortunately got an opportunity to go on a few trials, and then obviously got signed at Aldershot, and that's the first pro contract I got, and sort of really kicked on from there. Managed to sign a few deals with Aldershot, and then moved on, got brought by Cheltenham, moved house. So those went on, played over 300 Football League games, and had a good career. Managed to have opportunities at Wembley, and play in front of fans there as well. So really delighted with that, and fortunately had an opportunity to sort of go into the coaching side of things. As you get a bit older, you can't do the same things as much. So the next transition for me was sort of going into coaching and management. I had an opportunity at Leverhead to go in as the assistant manager, and learned loads under the manager there at the time. And then managed to sort of go on my own too at Fleet Town, another club that was based in the Aldershot area, and really great for them. They gave me an opportunity to get into management, and I learned a lot there. Was tasked with keeping them up, so straight in at the deep end, if you like, and that's how I am. I've always been like that as a player. I've always sort of wanted to really challenge myself, and managed to do that. And from obviously there, had an okay start to the season, recruited well. Left the club in a better place with the community, etc. And the togetherness, and now been approached by a Croydon, and now here. So here we are. There is a benefit from going from playing to coaching, because I think first and foremost the players can relate to you. And that's not to say that if you've not played, it hasn't. But I've just found that, and it worked for me. I always sort of had a better relationship with the managers that had played, because they were quite relatable, and it was the type of manager I wanted to be. I feel like I have a different type of understanding in regards to player management, and that's obviously given me the skill set to be able to manage players from that regard. So yeah, I think the player side always has helped me personally, and it's made that transition slightly easier, because I know the emotions of the game when you're blocking players, the type of conversations in terms of maybe just being honest. And again, I try to do things slightly different. I played under a lot of managers, and there's a lot of nuggets you take from that, and there's things that I've obviously taken into my managerial career. I left Fleet to come to AFC Croydon because I think the project, and I think after speaking to the owners, it was an opportunity for me to turn down. Through my career and playing, I've always been on no regrets, and I felt, hey, I'm not taking this opportunity, I may have regretted it. As I said before, I've grown up in the area. There's a connection here. That park around the corner is one that I grew up in, and I owe a lot to for why I had a good career in football, because I learned loads there, and there's a real connection here. And as I said, I think after speaking to the owners and looking at the project over the next couple of years, I wanted to be a part of that, and come back to an area where I'm so familiar with, and it all fitted at the time. So it's about the challenge. I think there's more pressure here, and I was probably a little bit comfortable in my environment before. So I wanted to really challenge myself and be tasked with probably getting to the playoffs, and this is what this offers with this project here. I think this season it was important for me to sort of manage everyone and say, look, manage expectation. I think I've come in, been here 8 weeks, and I think this season it's all about being steady and then finishing as high as we can. We have started well, there's no getting away from that. But I think it's when I spoke to the owners, I think we can't come away from the fact that it is over, getting things right this year, recruiting well, getting my feet under the table, and then going for it next year. Within the group, we'd love to think we can do it this year, but we're playing catch up. So yeah, it's just managing expectation, but we'll see where we're at in and around January. I think with the owners, you look at for example, you look at Zahar and Stormzy and Danny. They've all done well, and they were giving back.
and I wanted to be a part of that. So I feel I fitted that from a player point of view and from a managerial point of view as well. So that was a big thing for me, and I feel that I fit that bill. But I feel that I've obviously grown here, and people can sort of go back to being relatable. As there's players that are in and around the area, or young aspiring managers that want to go and do well, and some may look up to me and feel that, you know, from the area that they can relate, and hopefully I can sort of, with the owners, sort of provide a pathway. Could be from the areas, it does hit different when you've grown up somewhere and then you come back, and I feel that I fit that. So that was a big factor in me coming here as well. And so yeah, I do have history of Croydon. I've played here a few times over the years, and it was always the promised land. I always wanted to play for Croydon Athletic as a youngster because it was the first stadium I saw. And you're at Mayfield Park and you're thinking one day. So we used to come here and watch football matches here in the clubhouse. So yeah, any time I started playing against Croydon, it always, it had a place in my heart, and that history always sat with me. I always felt I'd come back in some capacity, whether it be a player or a manager, and fortunately I've had an opportunity to come back as a manager. So yeah, there's history there, and I've always enjoyed playing there. Every time I did play here, I'd have family come and watch because it was local. It's the only games they would come because it was local. So now I'm here as a manager, delighted, and it felt like it was quite written. So I came here as a kid from Croydon Athletic, and obviously playing here as a youngster. So I want to give back to the community. I want to be a part of the DNA moving forward of the football club, and reconnect the supporters. It's a great catchment area. I think that's a big thing with where we're based in terms of creating that culture, and I want to be a part of that. And I think I know what it means being a part of this football club from being a youngster as well. First impressions of the club. First of all, I was delighted to be here. I think the volunteers have been brilliant, really welcoming, as they always are when a new manager comes in. I think the buy-in and the attitude and mentality of the players to obviously come in and see a new manager come in, their attitudes have been spot on. So that always makes things easier for me and my staff that have come here. It's got a warm feel about it in the bar after. It's a close-knit club, and it's how I remember it as a youngster. I do think it's a bit of a sleeping giant at the minute, and I think that's partly the reason I'm here, and the owners have obviously come together, because I think it is about reconnecting and getting more bums up on seats and getting more supporters in the door. And I think the infrastructure's here, and a lot going on for us to be able to do that. I've got the buy-in of the boys to come and play for AFC Croydon. The fact that I think I've played at a level, I think they've understood that. So they know I want to kick on. They know for me to be a part of this football club, there has to be a project moving forward. I think there's a trust element there from the calibre of players that have been brought in. I also think that we go back to me being relatable. I think players want to play for a manager that's played the game and understands them. Me being a family man, I think that there's having that relationship off the pitch, and at previous clubs they'd know me from that. So I think that's a big buy-in. And also, like I was saying, the players want to kick on. We've got a history of developing players and pushing them up the leagues, and players coming in on loan and going up the league. So we've got a good pedigree with that. So I also think that that's a big part of it as well. Yeah. So in terms of the management team that I brought with me from Fleet, firstly my assistant manager Chris Zabrowski, who again has a really good player pedigree. Understands how I work, and is obviously he can play as well, so that always helps. But he's me and him, as going into Fleet, we sort of worked well together. He's probably the good cop, I'm the bad cop, so he picks me up, and that was really important to me. But a big reason that he's here with me as well. We obviously brought in Olivia as well. She's our physio, and again knows how we work. And a massive part, integral part to what we're going to be doing moving forward. So two people that have come with me, plus Rom, the goalkeeping coach, who I inherited at Fleet as well. Another one that understands how we do things, and important in terms of our ethos and our beliefs. So really important, and they say a manager's only as good as his management team. So I'm delighted that they've come across, and as I say, long may it continue, because we've started quite well. So just want to say a big thank you to all the supporters that have tuned in and sort of supported us along the way, home and away. And glad with the start that we've had, but it's only the start. We need you. Keep coming, support your football club. Keep coming, support us, the players. We appreciate it, and I'll hopefully see you Saturday.